party people! Hello, it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am here today with project number 3. No, not project number 3. Project number 5. Hello, project number 5. Project number 5 is just some earrings. Now, in the last video, we did make 2 pairs of earrings that were pretty simple pairs of earrings. We're going to make another simple pair of earrings, except for this time, we are going to use just wire to make earrings. So it's a little bit different, but as you guys know, I'm in the earring making mood. So let's get on into it. Get this party started. All right, guys, here we are on the mat. So we're just making some earrings today. And we're going to use just wire. And although this is just a simple earring project, I am going to be pretty descriptive about it for maybe those people who are not real familiar with using wire to make earrings. So I'm going to be using 22 gauge, of course, 22 gauge non-tarnish. This is from Softlex. This is bright silver wire. It is 22 gauge. Why do I love 22 gauge so much? Well, 20 gauge is a little bit hard for me to maneuver and work with in a way that because it's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit stronger wire. I prefer the more flexibleness of the 22. It's just always been a preference of mine. That's all I can really say about it. When I start to work with a 20, I think it's because I make a lot of things in a day. I feel a lot more in my fingers, like once you've been working with a 20 for a while, you know, like it's a little harder and it's a little more painful to get things to where I need them to go. So I don't like to fight against that. I'm just like, we'll just do a 22 gauge. It'll be fine. So I'm going to get a piece of wire here. I'm going to need a pretty long wire because I may or may not do some extra wrapping on this. So how many beads do I have? I have 3 beads. Now there's a couple of options we could do with this. We could wire wrap each individual one, la-ti-da. To be quite honest with you, I don't think that's what we're going to do today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to first create a head pin. So to create this head pin, if you've never created a head pin or done anything like that with this piece of wire, let me show you how. Now let me just premise this by saying I learned this from Sarah Lovecraft, and that was the first time that I had ever seen that. So we want to shout out Sarah. She's the one who taught me how to do this. So all you're going to do is you're going to put the wire in so that you do not feel any wire on the other side of the plier. You're then going to start to twist it. Okay. So as you're twisting around, my camera takes a little bit of time to focus. You're keeping the pressure, and basically what you're going to do here is you're going to create a spiral. You can see. Let me grab a mat. Hold on. I'm just going to cover this up for the time being so it doesn't try to focus on my mat. Okay. So you're going to create a spiral. You can see I'm relieving pressure, moving over, creating the spiral. That's all I'm doing. I make mine about once I see the beginning. So it's not a full 3 loop wrap, but once I see the beginning, that's where I stop. Then what I do is I'm going to take this and push it straight out from my plier. So if I'm holding my plier, everything is going straight out. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off of there. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to take this end and I'm going to put it through this little loop that we made. Okay? Now, they say you should do this with your, your pliers that have that silicone stuff on them or whatever you want to do. I just do it with my hand. I just do it with my finger. You do what you want. But basically what you're doing is you're bringing this down to a knot down here. You want this wire to be coming straight out of there. So this should look like a little nest or a rosette, as they say. Now there's always this little wire here, and what I do is I take this and I just tuck that little wire into the middle. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I just don't want it to be poking out. By the way, I apologize about my fingernails. I've been having things and stuff. I'm gardening and playing with ink. Nobody got time for that. So you get this all straightened out, and now you've created a little nest for your bead. So we're gonna bring this in here. My camera's like, different colors. So I've created this little nest for my bead. Now, with these ones, what I want to do is I want to cap them. I planned on capping all of them. I kind of have this different idea now, so I might just cap, well, let's see how it looks. I'm put that on there, and we'll see how it looks. Let me see how it looks. Okay, push, conform those to the bead, bring it down. Now I'm thinking, originally I was going to cap all these, but now I'm kind of thinking I should only cap the middle one, because I want to do wire wrap on it, but we'll see what happens. See how I feel at the moment. Okay, so here's what it looks like. So you've created this little like nest for your bead. So that's your stopper. And maybe I will go like this and put this one in the middle with no caps. And go again. And then cap this. Okay, so this one has a bottom cap on it, but not a top. I think I have to do a top. Push that on there so it conforms to the bead. Alright, so I was going to use this excess wire and do like a whole thing with it, but I've got a lot of stuff going on here, which I don't know if I like or not. At the very least, I know I don't want to add more wire to it. I mean, it's okay, but this is more of like a bracelet situation to me. So I'm going to change the whole plan, and we're going to do it like this. I'm going to cap this bead, and I'm going to wire wrap it. I'm going to do messy wire wrap down here. And squish. Put the tail in. Okay, now with this, I'm going to, in essence, create an eye pin. So this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, give myself a little bit of wrapping space. I'm going to bend. So it almost looks like a 7. I'm going to go over the top. Okay, all the while holding the pressure on the plier. Okay, so it looks like this. Not too much pressure though. You don't want to be marking it up and everything. Then I'm going to spin. Bring this around. So now you have a loop. You should be able to see your mat through the loop. Put that back on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm going to push this one down and pull this one up just to create a little opening in that circle. Okay, so it's still a circle. I just have an opening. I'm going to take my charm, thread that on, grab a hold of this circle that I've pulled apart and kind of push it back together with the chain nose. So I use the chain nose because my chain nose has a very thin nose. It's one of the good things about using this black plier that we sell at Thunderhorse Descendant. It has a very thin nose, so I can actually hold both sides of that loop without getting the loop of the charm. I can hold that, which allows me more room to take and wrap around with this. You know, more control. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and back around. Okay. So now in essence what we have done, which I'm sure many of you know, is that we have created an eye pin, a wire wrapped eye pin basically, with our wire. Okay. So now we are free to add on our other pieces. Now I completely basically just done away with the plan here. So I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this spacer and this guy and yeah, is that what I want to do? Where's that other one at? There we go. I'm going to wire wrap this. So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing the same design that I was doing. I'm just doing it by cutting up the wire wrapping. And you'll see the difference when I'm done. Now I will say that sometimes I like to put a bead on top of, like a seed bead or something, on top of the spacer if you have trouble wrapping it, because it kind of has a hollow top. I don't know if you can see because my camera and my lights and everything, but it kind of has a hollow top, and that could make it hard to get really in there and wire wrap appropriately. But normally if I have to, I can get her done, and this seems to be going perfectly fine. So now I'm going to wire wrap the next portion. By creating another basically wire wrapped eye pin. So here we go. Put a little bit of space, make an almost 7 by bending it. I mean, obviously it's this way, but over the top, spin the plier all the way around. You want to pull to make sure that this loop on here is tight. Once you have the loop, you can see the mat. You're going to open it up so that you can then attach your next guy. This is also how you make rosary chain, in case you're wondering. Wire wrap rosary chain. I'm going to come in here with the chain nose, squish that loop back together by holding both parts of the loop, this side and that side, with your plier. Then we're going to wrap. Two, 3, and back around to the back. And we're going to tuck that tail in. Come back here and put on the bottom and the top. For a bead. So interesting, right? So you can see I made the same exact design. This was the same lineup the first time, but it didn't look as good, and now it looks better because there was a lot of metal associated with it, and I wasn't quite loving that, but with the space in between, now it's completely different. So now I just create a loop on the top and add binding wire. Easy peasy. Whoa, got your glasses on? Put your glasses on. Oh, she'll be after us. Okay. then I just add an earring wire. Let's see, let's do a bright silver. Just gonna grab one up out of here. Here's a bright silver French earring wire. And there we go. Oh, whoops. Just in my opinion, it looks a lot better than it would where it's just like all crunched together like we had it the first time, right? So I'm going to go ahead and create the other one. I'll be right back. Alright guys, there they are, all done up. So this bead is a little more blue than that bead, but it does have blue in it, so I'm not worried. Yeah, so they actually turned out to be a lot cuter than they would have been had I just strung them up as like on sticks. So this also gives them a little bit more dangliness because they have these act as like a hinge, so they get a little more, you know, get a little more dangliness going on. So I quite enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I want to know this time the question, what is your favorite color findings? Gold, antique copper, antique silver, gunmetal, rose gold, all the finding colors. What's your favorite? I hope you guys are having a lovely, spectacular, amazing beading day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.